Hey everybody, this is Zack Rosen from the New Gag here at the 930 Club in Washington, D.C. with two well-dressed gentlemen from Cut Copy. Here we have Tim and Ben. How are you guys doing?
Very well.
Very well,
good to be here.
Oh, good. Well, happy to have you here.
Always.
Just to get this question out of the way, no one in Cut Copy is gay, right?
Not to our knowledge.
Not to our knowledge,
Okay.
no.
Cool, that saves me a lot of annoying stuff to ask
Yeah.
because there was a little hint of La Isla Bonita on the new record, but...
Hey, look, we hinted a lot of things.
Only hints, though.
Yeah.
First real question is, how scary was it to drop the guitars to the extent that you guys have? I mean, Cut Copy's always been a band that has synths and guitars. Like, that's always been your selling point.
Yeah, it was funny because I guess a lot of people have commented on that on this record. There's actually like guitar in nearly every song, but I guess it's just utilized a lot differently than what it was on in Ghost Colors and Bright Like Neon Love. Like it was more of a kind of shoegaze kind of early '90s guitar kind of references on those records. But this one's like very much a more kind of I guess restrained way of playing it, or running the guitars through so many different kinds of effects and stuff that it doesn't sound like, I guess, traditional Cut Copy guitars.
Okay.
We steered away from the distortion pedals on this one.
Was it scary at all to think that everyone that loved In Ghost Colors is going to abandon something that was such a left turn?
Well, I think we try and do that with every record. Like I know when when Ghost Colors came out and that very dreamy pop stuff that was on Bright Like Neon Love, people weren't necessarily ready for that. But then people kind of, initially when that record came out, like there was an adjustment period then. And same again with Zonoscope. But I guess that's the thing. Like I think you need to show your audience a lot of respect and realize that they want to grow with you, as well as not wanting to repeat the same record. Like there's already Ghost Colors and Bright Like Neon Love, so there's no point to do that again.
Speaking of departures, also, I might be wrong on this one, but I feel like most dance music, I think I told you this before, it's either about dancing or sex. And then I feel like in this album you kind of got the girl out of the way quickly. She's in the first couple tracks, Need You Now, and you moved on to other themes. Am I correct? This seems like less of a love record, more of maybe spirituality or kind of revolution. Yeah,
definitely. I think the whole idea with this record was about imagining another place and another world, and this record maybe perhaps provides the soundtrack for this other world and this idea of escape. And there's certainly that was like a running theme throughout this record, and the artwork hints at that, and certainly the song content really hints at this other place that we're trying to get to.
What is this other place like for either of you? Maybe you both had different interpretations.
Yeah, to me it's a kind of a jungle setting, an Amazon River kind of mysterious cities of gold kind of with UFO sightings and scurvy and madness and wild tribal dances and things like that.
But enough about the 930 Club.
Well, so I was describing the tour bus, but it's something like that, I think. For me.
I was picturing ancient Egypt and
there's a lot of references to pharaohs and pyramids and stuff like that. So
And there's a couple bands coming up. Yacht is around right now, and Young Galaxy are kind of, I almost want to say spiritual dance bands, where it's not so much like the sex or the dancing at the heart of the songs, but it is, like a sun god or revolution. Anything happen in your, maybe Daniel's life to cause this shift, or?
I guess we had this idea of the record starting out as this kind of transcendental meditation, like Need You Now, this very kind of, it's a very spiritual kind of beginning, and then it ends in this very kind of hedonistic, euphoric freak out in Sun God, which is very much about capturing that, I guess, that sensation of kind of that early 90s kind of acid house scene, not necessarily sounding specifically like that, but just trying to capture that feeling.
I think when we were touring in Ghost Colors, and even now, I mean, when songs like Hearts on Fire and Lights of Music, we saw like what those songs do to a crowd. Like they basically make them go crazy, jump up and down, and we were like interested in, I guess, exploring the idea of what other states of mind we could get people into, and there's a lot more of a focus on like a hypnotic kind of thing with this record, I think.
It's funny you mentioned hypnosis, because there seems to be it's almost like a call to arms. Kind of there's like the Come With Me revolution, and the last one seemed more uncertain. Between something like Hearts on Fire, where you're really chasing after someone, it seems like people are chasing after you now. I don't know. I've been listening to this record all day and drinking coffee, so
Okay.
my interpretations might be off.
No, that's the thing. It's always open to everybody's interpretation. Like, we merely provide, I guess, the landscape and the sound for this world, but it's up to everyone to take away what they want. I guess that's the whole idea of, when the Walkman first came out, and people could create their own soundtrack to walking around, and that was kind of the idea. Is like, we provide the soundtrack and you put it on, and you take what you want from it.
Right, or with it.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. And what happens to the girl through all this? That might be a question that you don't have to answer.
Yeah, I mean, she's still there, I guess. Songs like Need You Now and Elisa. I mean, it's quite. Elisa's quite a scathing song. I would hate to be that girl because she really cops it in that song. But yeah, I mean those characteristics of being on every copy record, and I guess that kind of. I mean, those themes are so universal, and bands always kind of touch upon that. And I guess it's really come from, maybe like the Beach Boys, like this idea of like these quite melancholic kind of love songs, but they use this quite uplifting kind of chords and music, and that's something that's, I guess, maybe kind of stuck through what we've done. Okay.
It's funny you mentioned the Beach Boys. It's probably my last question. I put up on Facebook, interviewing Copy What Should I Ask Them. The two responses I get are, when are they going to rim me? Which, I don't know if you guys know what that is, but you don't have to do it. And then the other one was asking about the Beach Boys. So
that's okay. That's two interesting questions.
Do not, honestly, for my sake, don't answer the first one unless you really want to. But tell me more about the Beach Boys before we go.
Oh, yeah, just a classically inspiring band. I think they're kind of got a tragic history within their band as well. Like, members dying and
the Sandbox
and Brian Wilson's kind of mental demise to some degree. But just obviously, like, all of their music is really unique, and obviously like the experimentation, like the Pet Sounds era and stuff, is was revolutionary and stuff. So and this the soul of their music, I think, is just so pure and unrefined in so many ways.
Because beach rock came back to a degree, and it's actually starting to annoy me now. Like, some people do it well. You got your Best Coast and your Tennis, and everyone is doing it. I mean, did the beach rock come about naturally? Is it just something that's in the air?
Well, it's from Australia. That's where we were born and raised on that.
Well, everyone in Australia lives at least basically an hour from the coast, because all the cities are around the edge. So we always have an affinity with the water. I think my own kind of fascination with the Beach Boys definitely comes post their sort of surf and safari era, though, more the late 60s and 70s kind of stuff they did, which was less about the beach, I think. Yeah.
Okay, more about being horribly depressed.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Trying to refine their magic touch or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess on that note, anything else you want to tell everybody before we sign off?
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out Cut Copy.
Yeah. Buy our record.
Awesome. Thank you, Cut Copy.
Pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Cool. Take care.